Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lea and I really like to knit. In this video I want to knit the Campanula tea by Anna Hermann Sørensen. I hope I pronounced that right. I want to knit this little tea with drops flora in this beautiful, I have no idea how to describe this color. It's more of a green. I think the color name is Misty Green, and drops flora is 65% wool and 35% alpaca. And I'll be using my beautiful red 2.5mm needles because I already did my gauge swatch. Isn't that amazing? Please let me know in the comments what you are currently working on, or if the Campanula tea is something you maybe could knit in the future. I would love to hear from you. I would love to read from you. Oh, and I forgot to mention I'm knitting this in size 7, if I remember correctly. You may be asking, why does she have a crochet hook in her hand? Well, the pattern calls for a provisional cast on, and I like to chain up the stitches and then pick them up with my knitting needles. So I have some yellow scrap yarn and I'll be chaining up a bunch of stitches. Okay, so I finished the first round, aka the setup round. My stitches aren't twisted. I paid very good attention to that. And now I'm working flat, doing the shoulder increases and German short rows for a specific number of rows. And I'm really excited for that part because I'm really liking German short rows. And it's been a while since I've done German short rows. I set up all the markers. The pattern just calls for the shoulder markers, but I like to do some additional markers for the pattern repeat so I don't get confused. It's just so I can knit a bit more mindlessly. So the German short rows were earlier finished than I expected. This is how much I've done. All in all, the short rows were just 4 rounds, maybe 5, for my size at least. So that's why they are not very noticeable, but I know that they make a difference. So now I'll just work the shoulder increases in the round and following the pattern. Good morning, everyone. Doesn't the weather look amazing? I just came home from my run. I have a coffee now and I quickly wanted to talk a bit about my plans for today, besides knitting. Of course I want to get a few rounds done for the Campanula tea. I also have 2 other things I want to do. One is knitting related and one is not knitting related. I knitted the book club cardigan last year. I finished it in December and I really like it, but I did too many buttonholes on the button band, which I don't really like. So I want to remove the highest button and sew up the buttonhole. I need to look up at a tutorial how to do that. And I got myself a little DIY set for making some friendship bracelets. By the beginning of June I will be 30 years old and I want to celebrate with some friends. The joke is that in their eyes I'm the biggest Taylor Swift fan there is. I am not. I want to make 2 friendship bracelets for everyone. One is just normal friendship bracelets, maybe funny ones. And the other friendship bracelets everyone will get is one song of the setlet from the Eras Tour, because we'll be watching the Eras Tour movie and I want to make a little game out of it. So everyone gets a song name and has to put up their hand or yell or whatever when they think their song is coming up, and then everyone drinks. That's the idea. The sun is coming up. Now I'll drink my coffee, make myself some breakfast, and then I have to work. What a shame. I want to knit and do my other little things. That will have to wait for a bit until I'm free. So go back to my desk. I finished my workday and also my first friendship bracelet. I did a Cruel Summer one, which is the second song she's playing, and it came out pretty cute, I think. Yeah, this is the first one done. I think I'll make a few more because I now got the hang of it. Maybe I'll make myself my second and last cup of coffee and go on the balcony to do some friendship bracelets. I hope I don't lose any of the beads. Maybe I listen to my new audiobook. Yesterday I finished The Woman in Black finally. I really enjoyed that one. I gave it 4 stars out of 5 on my Goodreads. And now I'm listening to another audiobook which is called The Other Woman by Sandy Jones. I had that one on my to-read list for a few years. And while we're at it, let me show you the little progress I did on my knitting. I already have this much. It's a bit. You can see the pattern, which is nice. Here are the shoulders, the saddle shoulders and the increases. The color is gorgeous. I'm not sure if this is my style, but I want to try something new. And the pattern spoke to me, so I'm listening. Yeah, I told you my plans for this beautiful Tuesday evening. The sun is shining. There will probably be a few bees and wasps on my balcony, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I'll survive. Let me get all my stuff from here over there, and I'll do a few more friendship bracelets. Maybe I'll show you them, and then maybe I'll do some knitting. But first, coffee. Okay, I was hoping that this would stop, but I guess it doesn't. Does it stop? Please? Please, can you stop? Yeah, it's getting quieter, so I just start. Oh, thank you very much. For the last 1.5, maybe 2 hours, I just sat here and had fun doing some friendship bracelets. I thought about doing 3, but I did 9. 9 friendship bracelets. I had fun making them. I'm especially proud of this one. Can you see that? Where I made little flowers. I had to look up a tutorial on TikTok. All in all, I had fun making them. They look cool. I'm not done yet. I have to do 2 more for the errors to set list. I'm done now. My back hurts a bit because I was mostly sitting like this. Maybe I take a little walk. Spring is just so nice. Spring is my favorite season. It's just, it hits different. A Taylor Swift song, by the way. In their eyes, I'm the biggest Taylor Swift fan there is. I am not. I know this is a knitting vlog. I know that I took way too much time about the friendship bracelet thing, and you heard definitely way too much about Taylor Swift. I'm sorry about that, but I thought I'd make this vlog more interesting and show you some things I also do on my day-to-day basis, instead of just me sitting on my desk and knitting from different angles. Yeah, I'm just trying something new. This whole YouTube thing is something I want to try, so as long as I'm having fun, that's the most important thing. Google just gave me a notification that there will be thunderstorms in around an hour, so maybe I should pack up, take a little walk, 10-15 minutes, I'm not sure, listen to my audiobook, come back home, eat some dinner, and knit for the rest of the evening. That sounds like a perfect plan. And again, I'm talking for 11 minutes. I go now. Thank you. It's currently raining outside and I'm really enjoying that. I just came home in time before it started to rain, so that's a win for me. And while I was walking, I remembered that I wanted to undo one of the buttons on my book club cardigan. I totally forgot that. A friend of mine is currently flying to Mexico. I have the habit of tracking flights from friends and family if they're flying somewhere. So that has been something I did today on and off, watching where they were. They're currently in the Atlantic Ocean. Amazing. So yeah, this is my progress on the campanula tea. I didn't forget that. Today was more of a little knitting break. I still knitted, but I don't knit it for hours and hours on end. It was nice to do something else crafty. I had a really busy work day today and I couldn't knit as much as I wanted to, but I made some more friendship bracelets. I swear to you, this is the last time I'm talking about this, probably. But I'm so excited about the whole progress and process, and I want to share that with someone, and I can't tell my friends because it's a surprise for them. So you have to listen to me being excited for 1 minute, please. So I did. With this many bracelets on my arm, I look a bit like, here in Germany we have a singer called Wolfgang Petri. His signature look was one arm full of bracelets. It looked ridiculous. So fun fact. These are the bracelets I made today and yesterday. I had to redo some of the bracelets I did yesterday because I thought they were too tight, and I had to reorder some of the elastic for the bracelets because I don't have enough. That means I can do way more friendship bracelets. I'm excited about that. So enough talk of friendship bracelets in this knitting video. I'm sorry about that. But like I said, I'm too excited. I needed to talk about it. So let me get to the important stuff. I couldn't knit today as much as I wanted to because I was relatively busy at work. But I did a few rounds and this is my progress. Not bad, right? You can very well see the pattern, the increases. Yeah, I'm excited to get a few hours of knitting in for the rest of the day. I just have to do a bit housework, and when I clean the apartment and edit one of my videos for a bit, then I can sit down and finally knit. And I'm excited about that. That's my motivation. I'm feeling good. In this video, I'm really going all in with different filming locations. So, see you when I see you when I'm back to knitting, probably at my desk. The sound of happiness. Happy Friday, everyone. I have a little update, not much, but a little. I have this much for the yoke of the campanula tea. I now finished the section where you have to do increases every round, and now I have to do 48 rounds with every other increase round. I'm in round 1, so this would take me a bit. I'm really in love with the color of the yarn. This was a really good choice Today is Friday. I didn't have to work today, and I don't have to work until Wednesday. So quite a bit of free time. I'm going on a little road trip tomorrow until Monday, so I should be able to get a few rounds in. I have my coffee in this really faded I Love Rio mug. Maybe I do a little gaming session later when I'm done knitting. I have to give my hands a break. If you remember, I'm knitting on relatively small needles, 2.5 millimeters. The little progress update. And maybe I just come back to you once I finish the 48 rounds and can split the body and sleeves. That sounds like a good plan. It's Easter Sunday. I'm currently visiting some family, and because of that I have to keep my voice a little bit down. But you should hear me fine. I have an update. That's why I want to talk to you. I finished my first ball of yarn, and I achieved this much with just one bowl. I'm really amazed by that, if I'm honest. When I packed my bag yesterday, I wasn't sure if I should pack another ball of yarn because I had enough, in my opinion, left. But I'm glad that I packed a second ball of yarn because yesterday I knitted more than I thought I could. So yeah, this is how much I've done, and I'm currently on round 25. I should be able to get a few more rounds in today and as well tomorrow when I'm driving back. I'm a bit exhausted. We took a very long walk today. I got around 17,000 steps in, which is quite a lot. And I have a coffee waiting for me, which I will now go and get. I just wanted to talk to you because I finished my first ball of yarn and wanted to show you the progress. I'm really happy with it. It looks really nice. The next time I see you is back in my apartment. I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is that after almost 2 weeks, I finished the yoke. It took me a bit longer than I expected that it would take me, but it's fine. And the slightly bad news, I did my increases for the sleeves wrong. These two markers are my sleeve, are one of my sleeves. The other is identical, and you can see there aren't many stitches, so it would be very tiny. And I counted these stitches and looked at the pattern and figured out that I did the increases wrong. And it really doesn't matter. I calculated how many stitches I need on both sides and put 2 markers there. So all in all, this is my sleeve now, and I'll take these 2 stitches out. I'm not sure how this will look once the sleeve is separated. Maybe this will be a nice saddle shoulder effect. I just have to knit it and have a look. I will not go back and frog it. I'm not gonna do that. So I have to live with this, and it really doesn't bother me, if I'm honest, which is good. But it would really interest me to see where I went wrong. Maybe tomorrow or later I go back and take another look. This is how much I have left for my second ball of yarn. So I got this much out of it. Here you can see the 3 balls I have left for the campanula tea. But just like in every other video, I'm a bit nervous that this won't be enough. So I'm excited to finally separate the body and the sleeves. I'm also really intrigued to see how long this will take me to finish. That was my small little update. Good news, bad news. It's all right. Somehow I manage always. And I go and watch some YouTube now, separate the body and the sleeves, and I come back to you when I have a bit more to an update. I just put half of the stitches from the body on hold so I could try it on and show you. The pattern says to knit the body in the round for 6 centimeters, and as you can see here, these aren't 6 centimeters. This is probably 1 centimeter, if at all. And it says to knit to the middle of your bust. I think this is the back side. 1 second. Okay. I think this is the wrong side. I'm not sure. But it definitely also goes to the middle of my bust, so I think I knit just 1 or 2 rounds more until I maybe have 1 centimeter, and then I can start with the decreases for the body. I really like this one, and I also like the part for the sleeves. For me, it just doesn't look like I made a mistake. Like, it looks like it needs to be this way. So I'm very pleased with this. I'm glad that I tried it on and didn't just knit these 6 centimeters and then it would probably be here. I'm surprised that I'm already at the point where I can stop with the decreases when I'm not even 1 centimeter in from the potentially 6 centimeters. This is my quick little update. I'm really liking the color. I'm on my 3rd ball of yarn. I'm excited to see how much I can do with that. Probably it would be nice to maybe finish the body with it, but I won't be needing 1 ball for each sleeve. I don't think so. Yeah, I put the stitches on hold back on the needle and have a look at the decrease section for the body. I'm very glad that I tried this one on. Yeah. If I'm honest, I'm a bit tired of working with 2.5mm needles, but let me show you how much I've done the past week. I don't exactly know when I last talked to you, but we have this much. Not bad. I tried it on yesterday evening and I thought then that I should see the end, the end of it, but it was shorter than I expected. So I'm knitting a few more rounds. I'm almost done with the decreases. In the next round I'm doing my last set of increases, then knitting a few more rounds, and then I'm trying this on again and then measuring how much longer I have to knit. This is my 3rd ball of yarn. I have achieved this much. Not bad. I don't want to be a negative Nancy, when I'm finished with this tee, I want to knit something with bigger needles. I'm not having so much fun, but the problem with me is that I knit every day. I knit every day for several hours. Normally I would have 2 whips, one larger whip and one smaller whip. But for me this is both, because it's a bigger project but with smaller needles. So, and I really want to get this done. The plan is now to knit the last row of decreases, knit a few more rounds after the decreases, and then try it on again and measure how much longer I need to knit. Okay, I can do that. Let's go, let's go. I have amazing news, because I can finally start the bind off for the body of the campanula tee. It's cropped, which I really like. And yeah, this is how much yarn I have left. It should be enough to cast this off. I found a fun YouTube video to watch, so I sat down now and start with the bind off. Fingers crossed that this will be enough yarn. Today is a good day. Today is a really good day. Okay, one small thing before I start with the bind off. I checked the pattern and it just says to bind off loosely in pattern. But I want to make the same bind off as the neck and the arms, which is called lattice etching. I've never done that before, and I want to have that on the bottom as well. Also, another thing, I'm thinking of doing the bind off with my 2mm needles. Maybe this will give it a crispier edge. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I want to do that for the other lattice edging as well. So yeah, I'll do the etching with my 2mm needles. I do the lattice etching for the bottom instead of loosely binding off in pattern. Then we're done with the body. Just finished the ruffled hem for the campanula tee. It took me way longer than I expected at first, but in hindsight it's obvious that it took so long, because you knit a stitch, do a yarn over and create a new stitch, knit a stitch, do a yarn over and create a stitch, and repeat that for I think 2 rounds and then do the bind off round. So I'm glad that it's over. So the next point on the agenda is to weave in all the ends. Maybe I'll do that on the balcony and listen to my audiobook. I have 2 audiobooks currently. One is The Other Woman by Sandy Jones. I have a book club with a friend where we're currently reading a German book, which is called Der Steg by Petra Johann. I really like that one. And I can listen to it on Spotify, which is really nice. So I have quite the selection of audiobooks I can listen to while working on my campanula tee. I am now 5 days straight of work, which is heavenly. So I have time to work on my campanula tee. I also want to make a few more friendship bracelets. And I have a few fun things planned for this long weekend. I am going on a hike. I'm going to a wellness hotel tomorrow. I have a barbecue planned on Saturday. And the weather is amazing, so I'm in a really, really good mood. So now I'm gonna weave in all these ends. I've been sitting on my balcony for the last, I would say 40 minutes. And I've made myself a little matcha latte with some vanilla. Delicious. And I already made some progress for the first sleeve. You probably can't really see that much. We have this much. I picked up 3 more stitches for the underarm than the pattern recommends. For every pattern I did in the last 2 years, I picked up more stitches for the underarm than the pattern recommended. It's just a habit of mine to avoid these little gaps. I picked up, I think, 3 more stitches, and did a little decrease before the official decrease starts. And now I knitted 10 rounds, and now I can do the decrease part. This should work up very fast. I probably will finish the first sleeve today. I'm not sure about the ruffled edge. This will probably take me a bit longer. In the last few days I did some work on the balcony. I cleaned all the chairs, the table, my little greenhouse. I sanded the table and repainted it. I also got some herbs like basil, parsley, and like that stuff, and put it in my greenhouse. I also finished the German audiobook as far as we decided to read for my book club. I'm a bit sad about it because I really wanted to read it a bit more or hear it a bit more, but I have another audiobook which I'll now listen to, or maybe watch some YouTube on my tablet. I also have this little bucket hat with me. It's getting a bit warm on my head. So I wore this in the sun. Very cute. I'm really enjoying the weather with my knitting, my matcha latte. I'm having a really good time outside. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the most exciting news. I did both sleeves. They worked up really quick. I did one each day, and the bind off, of course, took long. The only thing now left to do is the neckline, which I'll start after my dinner. And after the neckline is finished, I'll do the blocking, but before I block it, I'll show you the unblocked version. I knitted the sleeves a bit shorter than the pattern says to knit, just because I tried it on while knitting the first sleeve and figured that the length is enough for me, for my taste. I'm really happy, and I can't wait to finish this because I'm over it. Not over this project, but I'm over knitting with such small needles. I'll go eat dinner now, and then I start taking the provisional cast on off the stitches, and then I start with the bind off. Exciting news. I did it. I finished it yesterday evening, which I didn't know would be possible. I'll quickly weave in the 5 strands, and then I put this on, and we'll see how it looks.
A few moments later.
Are you ready for it? Ta-da! This looks so cool. Damn. I like the fit, I like the length. I think blocking will do wonders for the ruffled hem. This will be amazing. I'll block the campanula tee now, and I'll come back to you in a few days when it dried and give you the final look.
One eternity later.
And just like that, the campanula tee is finished. I know I sounded a bit negative about the whole knitting process, but that was just because I was so over it knitting with 2.5mm needles and even 2mm needles for the ruffled edge. And the solution would have been that I cast it on a second project with a bit bigger needles, but I didn't do that. So I hope I wasn't that negative. And I mean, the result speaks for itself. I am in love. This looks so nice. A really cool knitted tee. I like the cropped fit. I like the ruffled edges, and I really like the color. I'm really proud of this one, and I'm really glad I knitted this. So if you also want to make the campanula tee, I have the link for the Ravelry page in the description. And I think that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. I really would appreciate it if you liked this video and maybe consider subscribing to my channel. And I really hope to see you in the next one.